Hi guys, Catmaster here. I just want to give you a short update on my Frostwind Ascendant after we hit level 95, and I made the build guide that you've probably seen. If not, if you want to check it out, we made an awesome build guide that explains how we made a really nice hardcore viable Frostblades Ascendant with the new white wind dagger that requires us to not have anything equipped in the offhand for a nice bonus to dodge and cold damage. So I quickly want to go over some gear upgrades that I made, as when we showed the build guide we were still running relatively mediocre gear, just for the purpose of illustrating how cheap outside of the 6-link belly the build can be. And then I have sadly a death review of my clip for you, because we actually died today with the build when we were going to casually push for level 96, because we didn't pay attention to the map mods again, this time on a tier 14 residence. But more about that in a second. First we'll go over the upgrades that I was able to make. Now, as you might remember, the gear on the last iteration when I showed you the build in the build guide wasn't really great. We were using a mediocre helmet with some life and exactly the resists that we needed to be capped and balanced for the Wise Oak, and so we could use boots that had a nice life roll and chaos risk. But ultimately I wanted to swap to gear that would already provide the chaos res needed to not be at -70 and be completely balanced and capped and happy with the build. Have nicer life rolls than the crafted one on the amulet and the rather low one on the helmet, maybe some more accuracy here and there. And the idea was to be still completely balanced and capped and happy without the boot slot, so we could then go and use a series step slink boots for another 14 to 16 chance to dodge spell damage. I managed to get a really nice roll. 75 is max roll, and yeah, 15 is just one off perfect. Yeah, we could have had one higher percent, but then we would have had to get a shittier life roll. These are really good. I already had this helmet bought because I was, lucky enough to get that also relatively cheaply. 300 accuracy. It did have crafted flat evasion. Now it has really bad, worse than craft flat evasion, because I decided to take that craft off and slam it. And yeah, we basically have the lightning resist that previously we had on the amulet, and the chaos resist that previously we had on the boots. We found an amulet that was really decent, sort of ish, and the big winner in my book was this ring that we bought for only 25 chaos. I don't know whether the guy knew that he could have crafted life on. They did have a free prefix, or it did have a prefix, and with 2 crafts we hit 40. I thought that was more than enough at the time. And it took care of the whole resist situation. Basically, the only thing we still had to do was to bless the implicit on the Sapphire to 26, and we were at a nice 111 each resist, which was nice because, all those ones lining up, and then here mana lined up to 777. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna make a video on how to use the weighted mod surge on PoE trade next. I don't know whether I'm going to have it up today or tomorrow, but definitely look out for that. I'll be quickly going over a nice routine procedure that you can use for yourself in order to find a piece of gear or two that will then take care of that resist situation for you. But now let's go into the rip clip. I will quickly show you here. We did enter the boss room in this palace map and walk up to Dominus. Now this is a map with temp chains, monster life and boss life, but I didn't pay attention to the fact that we also had the monster AoE and the boss AoE that is always coupled with the boss life. So basically what happened is we stand in front of Dominus as he raises his hand for the slam, and I dash through him in order to get Fortify, where I should have dashed away in order to not be hit. I don't know I wasn't thinking at the time. Paying a lot of attention to chat, obviously. I'm new to this streaming thing, is what I always say. Yeah, shit happens. You know, the build was one of the best builds I ever played. Probably the most survivable one and the highest that I've ever been in hardcore outside of a race. Definitely worth trying still, even I died to a stupid one-shot there. In a way, it reminded me of this clip where I went into this lava chamber with an unfortunate combination of mods and got insta-gipped by the double boss. Yeah, lava chamber boss does shoot a magma orb-like projectile which doesn't bounce, but it causes a secondary AoE explosion when it lands, and this AoE can apparently overlap, so 2 additional projectiles was already pretty bad, but then on top of that having the 70% increased area of effect and, you know, the double boss wasn't the smartest decision. But to sum it all up, the same situation in this rip as in the lava chamber boss rip in the beginning of the league. I only realized how dangerous the map mods were when I was already in the rippy situation just in front of, like, just before the death in front of the boss. So yeah, basically a message to you so you can learn from my mistakes to not run rippy map boss mods like that. Always keep in mind which abilities the boss uses and which modifiers it does benefit from the most. Definitely, if you decide to run 170% increased AoE on a boss like Dominus, be very, very sure that you will have enough time to get away from him when he does his telegraphed attack. We're not going to reach the magical 10-minute mark on this video unless I talk to you about what I want to do for the rest of the league. As we all know, the ongoing Abyss leagues are up until the 26th of February, which is a Monday, depending on where you are. But we'll have a downtime between that Monday and the Friday of the same week where the new league will start. I think the announcement will come in a couple of days where we'll learn more about what the theme of the next league is, what, you know, ascendancy rewards we can expect, and all the good stuff. Until then, I don't think I'm going to do the endgame grinds or anything. We're probably just gonna farm out... oh, that's not even the right one. Probably just gonna farm out the remaining challenges for 24, which are relatively easy to do, is what I wanted to say, because I only have 2 left, and basically it's just wall side area, drop a sacrifice fragment, and maybe kill a monster possessed by 2 or more tormented spirits if we are lucky and get one of those. Or we also could do the Agents of the Void if we get into maps again. Complete unID'd rare maps. You know, there's a lot of options, and I'm not sure whether I want to go for 36. I'm not much of a challenge kind of guy, but you know, it will be fun to see whether we can still push into red maps once more, and possibly that's really my personal goal, still get a Elder or a Shaper Stygian Vise base for crafting, as these will go legacy. If you haven't read the development manifesto on how Abyss are going to be integrated in the core game, then definitely check that out. I'll link it down below in the description. Basically, what you can expect is that in the second half of the game, so that means Act 6 to Act 10, you will be able to find abysses, but not abyssal depths. Abyssal depths will only appear in maps, and the unique belts, the rare belts with the socket implicit, will only drop in these side areas in the abyssal depths, not in normal areas, meaning that you won't be able to get Shaper or Elder influence bases of this kind anymore after the leagues ended. So that's the reason, if you've been looking at the PoE trade, why they are so expensive in hardcore and softcore. Yeah, what I want to do is I actually got the 5th off color on my Death's Oath, which is here. So we're probably gonna do the build that Pox is playing at the moment, which is a Death's Oath Occultist, simply because I think Occultist has the best synergy with Death's Oath. You could probably do Trickster, you could probably do a life-based, something with a lot of regen, but honestly the -20 chaos resist to nearby enemies is super strong on Occultist. And also I think Wicked Ward is one of the strongest, possibly also one of the most underrated defensive mechanics in the game, and I'd really like to, you know, make a video on that as well, which is also why I wanted to initially play the CI Caustic Arrow Occultist. We'll see how that turns out. Maybe we'll do the Death's Oath, maybe we'll do something else, but for now we'll be leveling an Occultist again. The aim is to go CI and to have a really survivable build to push red maps again. I think that sums it up for now. I also have some, you know, meme builds in mind with impulsors, but I'll still have to spend a little bit of time to theory craft on that. I'll share it when we have time for that, and I think in the next 2 weeks there's going to be a lot of theory crafting, simply because there's not much more to do in the league. Like I said, not really a challenge kind of guy, so we're going to try to do probably some race practice. We're going to have some fun with, you know, the new items like impulsors. If you have a fun idea for me to play, to try around, I still got some currency, maybe hit me up. I'm streaming still every day on twitch.tv CatmasterOP, as you can see down here. And that sums up the video for now. Like I said, coming soon, the Wise Oak tutorial and a bunch of more informative videos around PoE, around the things that I do for my stream, and whatever topic I deem fitting and entertaining for you guys. That's it, I'm signing off. See you all on my stream.